One of the things I get asked all the time is about this white interior and how do you keep it clean. As you may know, we have a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, and we went with the white interior because after our first Model Y having black interior, I saw people's experience with the white interior, and I started to educate myself on this material and how it is not at all that bad to take care of. And I want to go over a few things because here we are a year and a half later and I've never deep cleaned these seats. I'm going to show you how I've maintained these seats, and one very important step that you should take from the very beginning of taking delivery if you do decide to get the white interior. So as you may know, I did put a ceramic product on these seats, and that was the key to maintaining these seats. This product right here, I ended up getting 3 applications out of it. So I've actually applied this to 3 different cars. Now, the third car was not nearly as thick of a coating as I would have liked, so you should plan on 2.5 coatings out of this stuff. So the strategy is to apply this to the car immediately, and then once a year, go through the car and really clean the seats and apply a new fresh coat on it. And it's worked out really well for us. And if you look at our seats, they are incredibly clean. And there are some areas though that do have some stains that I'm gonna work on today, but I'm gonna show you because from a day-to-day cleaning perspective, this is what we've been using to keep the seats clean. So whenever there's a spill or the kids make a mess or something, we just grab some baby wipes. These are just some basic scent-free baby wipes, and they have worked great for this car. That's all you really need. This is not a real leather product. This is a vegan leather. It's a vinyl. One other thing that some of you may notice also is there's what looks like stretch marks or creases, and those areas do collect a lot of that material or a lot of that staining, and it makes those little crinkles look even worse. Here we are a year and a half later, and I think the interior looks really good. There are some areas that I'm going to clean, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I don't use anything fancy for this car. As a matter of fact, the products that I use to clean this car are very basic. There is one other product that I do use when there's a really bad stain, and it has nothing to do with Teslas. I've actually used this for a long time, and a lot of people in the automotive industry use it as well. It's a 3D product. It is Orange Degreaser 3D 109, and I'll have a link in the description for you. You do need to be careful with this stuff though. It is aggressive, but it does cut out a lot of stains. It's really good at getting into a lot of that stuff and breaking it up and allowing you to remove it. So you don't want to use this very often, but unlike a magic eraser that's abrasive, this isn't abrasive, so it's not as damaging as that, but the chemicals in here, they will cut away any ceramic coat that you have on these seats. So keep that in mind. You only want to use this like once a year or only on small spots unless you're ready to apply another coat on top of these seats. So I'll probably be using some of this today just to show you how it works. Other than that, that's legitimately all that I use in this car to keep these seats clean. A year and a half, 2 young kids. We go on numerous road trips. We really put this car through its paces. We don't baby this thing. So it gets a lot of use, a lot of wear and tear, and these white seats have held up incredibly well. And this should help to eliminate any doubts that you may have if you're considering white but are worried about how the heck you're gonna take care of them. Super easy, could not be easier. And look in the comments of people who have white seats who are going to show you the same results that I have. These seats have held up incredibly well. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the magic and start cleaning these seats. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with a baby wipe and see how much of this we can get out just with the baby wipe. And I can already see it's doing quite a bit actually. Baby wipes will do just fine on most of these vegan leather surfaces because it's not real leather. I mean, you can see already all the stuff that's coming out. It's pretty dirty. Okay, so with what's left, I'm gonna try to dry this off real quick. And that does a really good job. Seats look overall pretty clean, and most of you would probably be satisfied with that. But what I am looking at is a few areas here where there's a little bit of dye transfer from pants and shorts and all that stuff. So this area here and this area here is where I'm gonna focus on, and I'm gonna do that here with the 3D Orange Degreaser. So don't apply too much, but you do want this stuff to work in. And that looks pretty incredible already. let's take a look here. It's looking really nice, really clean. You can see those stretch marks that I was talking about, but the colors, the stains are all gone, and this is looking a lot better. This is starting to look like new again. Maybe a little bit in the corner here I can spray and attack, but next we're gonna go on to the seat back. So like we did before, let's get our baby wipe, rub it down really good, get it nice and clean, fresh surface to work with. And it's gonna take out most of the obvious stuff. Now what I'm most focused on is like right here, there's some discoloration right here on these shoulders. So you can already start to see some improvement here. And like I said, though, the seats were never really that bad because that ceramic product really did a good job of keeping a lot of the stuff from seeping in and getting into the actual vinyl itself. So how are we looking now? I think we're looking pretty good, if I'm being honest. Again, 1.5 years without deep cleaning. Yeah, these white seats can absolutely work for anybody. All right, so now on some of these tougher spots right here, we're actually gonna be using a brush, and this one's specifically made for this. So it's the right type of bristle on here. There's a link, of course, in the description, but you can't just use any brush because you don't wanna damage the vinyl, but this will work really well for this. So we're gonna coat this really well, and rather than just using a rag and agitating, we are going to use this brush to really scrub out what's in there. So what you can see from the results of that is there's still a little bit here, and this is actually from a car seat. The car seat actually rubbed on top of the surface, and it has actually damaged the vinyl itself. So I've gotten all the dirt out of there, but I mean, you can even see here, this is actually a nick in the material, but the dirt itself is gone. And as you can see, we have these mats here, and these have done a great job keeping these back seats pristine, as you can see, but we missed the mark here on this corner. So that's what's happened here, and that is how that's going to look. Gotten it as clean as I can. You can see the fibers, at least the threads, those are now white, which is really good. It does a good job cleaning, but you're gonna have some stuff like this when you have car seats. It's not much you can really do about it, but when you take a step back, you can barely notice up here our imperfection. The rest of this entire back seat looks really awesome. All right, and now it's time to put on our ceramic, and it is recommended that you use a glove when doing this, but this stuff will get on your hands, and it is a little bit difficult to get off. So just keep that in mind. And And now you're gonna wanna really get your application pad nice and wet, get it nice and saturated. And you're gonna continue to do this. Super easy to apply. Just literally, you can even see where it's going. Apply it to all your surfaces really well. Get them nice and covered. So you're not gonna wipe it off. You're just gonna let it evaporate on its own. But you can see it doesn't take much time to do this. It takes more time to apply the liquid to the pad, honestly. And this will just add that nice protective layer on top of your seats. That's it. Whole seat is done now. So like I said, this is going to stay wet for a bit. You have to let it evaporate on its own. And what stays is that ceramic topping. Now it does emit a bit of a gas, so there is a smell, a chemical smell to it. That is normal, but keep that in mind. You might want to park this outside for a few hours and let that process take hold. So there you have it. That's how I maintain these white seats. And as you can see, it's not that much work overall. Again, I just keep baby wipes in the car for daily use. Whenever there's like a spill or a stain or something, and wipe it clean. I have spilled an entire Coke in here once. That was a mess, but it didn't stain the seats. And just having that ceramic coat on the seats definitely helps with making it easier to clean. But even without it, these seats are pretty durable. So adding that extra level of protection definitely does help. And again, I just maintain it with the baby wipes, and then once a year, give it a deep clean and reapply the ceramic coat. That ceramic is going to at least give you 2 applications, if not 3. So for not a lot of money, it's pretty easy to protect these seats, to take care of them. And it is really super easy to maintain these seats. So even if you have kids, even if you have a big dog like we do, it's definitely easy to take care of. So for those of you that were wondering how we maintain these seats, now you know, it's that easy. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @BeardedTesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.